So if you and I were able to sit in a room with a dry erase board, a marker, and an eraser, and I simply left a big gap and put down the word abused, and tell you you can put anything you want in that gap. But the stipulation is I'm going to be able to respond to what you say because I went through a very abusive childhood experience. The home I was born into was basically based on a very, very negative tension that was there from the minute you got up in the morning to the time that you went to bed at night. My mom and dad are both dead. My mom never told me once during her earthly life that she loved me. My dad was there, but he wasn't. He was uninvolved in anything that occurred to me. My parents were both heavily involved in church. We were there every Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. My mom was a Sunday school teacher for the longest period of time. She spent more time getting ready for her Sunday school class than she ever spent on me. I was very resentful of that a bunch of junior high girls were more important to her than I ever thought about being. She would often tell me how worthless and how I would never amount to anything during the course of my life, and I heard that often. So I'd go off to school and I didn't know what bullying was because that was not a term we used back when I was young. But I was certainly bullied unmercifully. And I had a lot of other abuses that occurred to me. So if you can think of physical, mental, whatever, and beyond that, that all occurred to me during my growing up years. So how does Jesus fall into all of this? Well, you could be thinking, how does a God who loves us and cares about us allow stuff like this to happen to people? Well, unfortunately, life happens. And people make choices, whether they be in church or not in church. And the choices they make greatly affect other people. And the ramifications of the decisions we make on how we're going to treat other people carry a huge amount of weight, be that positive or negative. In my case, a huge amount of negative. I needed a Savior in the worst kind of way. I had a terrible example of what it meant to be in church and what that all entailed. But I came to the realization that I needed Jesus Christ in my life. I've rededicated my life to Him. I was able about 4 years ago to be able to sit down with a legal pad to write down the names of all the individuals that had abused me during the course of my life. And we're not talking about the standard legal pad. We're talking about the mega legal pad. It took me a long time to get through that list of names, to forgive them for what they had done. And also a prayer with that Jesus is looking for you. Are you looking for Him? And if you do look for Him, what are you going to do with Him? And that's the realization that all of us face. Jesus is looking for each and every one of us. Are we looking for Him? And if we find Him, what are we going to do with Him? You know, I don't know if my parents are in heaven or not. I don't know, that's between them and Jesus. I hope they are. And I hope all the people that were on my list, and this was an extensive list, I hope that I see them when I go to heaven. I hope they're there. The pain and suffrage they caused in my life was great. But I want them in heaven in the worst kind of way. If you're watching this today, my prayer for you is this, the same. I hope that you make that decision to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and that you follow Him to the best of your ability every day of your life. Jesus didn't promise us an easy life. Things still happen. I used to have flashbacks to those really terrible events, but that's all gone away now. I don't have those feelings anymore. I know He can heal your life just like He healed my life. The question is, what are you going to do with Jesus? And that's up to you.